Maybe just a little bit early going live, but I'm kind of ready to rock and roll. I was going to skip the setup of this plane, but it's so much fun I thought you guys would enjoy. So let's get started. I'm so glad you could join us tonight, and welcome to the stream. We are flying an historic route featuring Fine Air, the DC-8 Fine Air, and we're traveling from Miami, Florida, excuse me, down to Providenciales and Grand Turks, kind of heading down that direction. It's a route I'll talk to you about here as we get going. But it's this is quite a setup process, so I'm going to jump right in and we'll focus on that just a little bit here initially. Sorry, it's going to get a little bit noisy as we start the external air and power. We're going to come over here. It looks like we've got that's already on AC tie. We will put that down on external power. And do I have any lights? Yes, I do. I left them on last time, unfortunately. So all that stuff is alive. That looks really good. All right, back over here. Cabin compressors. Oops. Need to make sure that pneumatics are off, cabin compressors are off, and Freon compressors are off. We can put the galley power on. Get a little bit of coffee going for our friend Black Fox 403 when he stops by. And what takes the longest in this plane is aligning the INS. So let's go to standby here and let's start that process. Love doing this. I don't know why. So when I click on the other screen, you guys that have watched this, you know it pops the audio off. I don't know how to fix that. I've never found a solution for that. But anyway, I'm looking at SimBrief right here. I've got my route entered in, and the very first thing I need to do is I need to put in the latitude and longitude of Miami International. So that's where I'm getting all these numbers, if you wonder. The very first thing that we do is that we go to, these are on positions, and I back this up to 0, the initial position, and then I put in where we are in Miami, 2547.7. I can't remote that actually. Sorry, I got to enter it in both separately. 80.17.4. All right, north and west, and then we'll come over here and do the same thing. We want to be north, 2547.7, and we need to be west, 80174. All right, now let's make sure those match to begin with. 25477 80714. All right, we are on our way. So now we need to put these to align. And then we will go ahead and start setting up the rest of our stuff here as we go. We'll flip this over real quick to the systems screen. Yep, and we're getting ready to count down from 9 down to 0. There's the Hound. Good afternoon, sir. Hello. How are you, man? Happy Saturday. So we have no ATC, so I'm just going to kind of give you a feel for where we're going here on our flight today, and give you the real world view here because it looks a little bit nicer. But yeah, we're departing Miami International and tracking down to the south and to the east into getting to Turks and Kai Kai Kai. Caicos Island, Turks and Caicos, I think is how you say that. That's probably not how you say that, but that's how I'm going to say it. But it's the Skips, it's the Miami 6 departure with the Skips transition. It's it's Yankee 587 out here to Bahamas, and then it's down to Donna's and ZLS. I forgot what ZLS is, and down here this is the Rec intersection, and then from Rec it's pretty much, with the weather as it is right now, pretty much straight in. So it should take us, I don't know, about an hour and a half. Once we get airborne, we will be cruising today at flight level 330, even though SimBrief recommended 390. So I mean, an hour 41 minutes is kind of what we're looking at here. But yeah, there we go. That's that. We would normally get that clearance right now, but since we don't have ATC, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to roll with it. So I'm going to pull up my flight plan here, and hopefully I won't have to click over on this other screen too many more times before we're rolling, but I will a little bit here. So the very first waypoint is the Bahamas, and we're going to spin this to the waypoint page. Put that to the waypoint page. We're going to do remotes so that we enter both of these at the same time. You can do them separately, which is kind of nice, which allows you to put 9 in one and 9 in the other. But we don't have very many to put in today. I think we have 5 total. So that's not too bad. So Nassau is the first one, and we are north 25. Oops, north. What's going on? I got to put this on the first waypoint. That would help. All right, north 25015. Insert, and that goes in both. Good deal. And then west 77268. Man, all of a sudden I've got a little bit of a scratchy throat. Let's double check that. 77268. Yep. 25015. Yes. All right. Come on, why aren't you scrolling down for me, darn it? Oh, holy cow. I just lost my flight plan. Here we go. There we go. All right. Second waypoint is going to be the Donna's intersection, and that is north 24158, 24158, west 76169. Those are in both. They match up. Again, we'll just double check. 76169. 76169. Yep, and 24158. Very good. Very good. All right, third one. Third one is the Stella Maria, Zulu Lima Sierra, north 2334 Niner, west 7515 Niner. Okay, those are both in. Again, just double checking. 75159. Yep, that looks good. 23349. That looks good. 2 more to put in here, and then we'll be ready to go. Ooh, why is the battery light coming on? That's not good. external power. It's on AC tie. That's weird. Okay, that's different. Alright, it's off now. That was really strange. We're running off of external power, so I shouldn't be worried about battery. Alright, fourth waypoint is the wreck intersection, and that is north 2554. Sorry, 21504. Always good to double check. And 73284. Okay, do they match? Yes, they do. 73284. 73284, that's a match on SimBrief. 21504. Alright, that looks good. And then your last waypoint, of course, is the airport where we're going, Providenciales. And that is north 2146.4 and west 7216.1. Alright, we've got a match. 72161, 21464. Awesome. Alright, we've got all 5 waypoints in. Again, pretty short flight tonight, although it's a 2-part flight, which is going to kind of be fun. We did one of these earlier in the Canadian Pacific, where we went into Toronto, and then we did a little short hop up to Montreal after that. This one's even shorter. I think it's about, I don't know, a 19-minute flight or something from Providenciales to Grand Turk. So it should be kind of interesting on that second leg there. Black Fox 403 checking in. Hey, got the coffee going, my friend. Dakota Pilot, nope, DC-8. The DC-8 50 tonight. Welcome, guys. Good to have you along. Keeping me company here on a warm winter evening here down in Miami. This is the Aerosoft DC-8. Whoops, and I don't have my camera view set up here working correctly, but this is what it is. The Big F Fine Air cargo flight tonight. All right, so next on the list here, we've got our flight plan in. We need to enter our transponder code. Our transponder code tonight is going to be just 2000. Gosh, I can't remember. I've got I have too many airplanes. I can't remember where everything is. I love it. We'll put that on standby. And all right, altimeter. Let's take a quick peek at the weather here. Active sky. Thank you very much for providing the weather here in Miami. Looks like winds 170 at 13 and 2978. Few clouds at 2,500, broken at 2,500. So not too bad. A little bit on the windy side, but that's going to be interesting. Going to be departing kind of in the crosswind. Maybe we'll take runway 12. Yeah, we can make that decision here in just a bit. So 2978 is kind of the information we need at the moment. That's our next part of the checklist. Oh, we were right there already. 2978. Very good, very good. Altimeter, what's that? It's a little dial that tells us our height, but that's not important right now. Master heat. Oh, we're ready to start doing some of this business here. You can see we're counting down. We're to 7 now. We have probably another 15 minutes or so before we're totally aligned. We'll just turn all the master heat on right now, even though we won't need it until we get up in the air just a little bit. I learned something kind of interesting about the especially the window heat. that we'll put on here in just a, well, that's next actually, is that it actually makes the windows stronger because it makes them a little bit more malleable, and so better resistant to bird strikes and things like that. Yeah, you know, I do. It's been a long time, Aries, since I've been in the DC-3. You are correct. I had this on the calendar, and I wanted to, you know, Saturdays are kind of tough, few and far between, and so I thought I got to get this bird up. It's been a while, but I do have some historic routes planned for the DC-3 later on. But you're right. A guy can never ever have enough time in the DC-3 as well. Too early for the airplane jokes, Black Fox. Never too early for those. Come on, let's be honest. All right. Cockpit lighting I've turned on. It's time to set the fuel and payload. That is done with Shift 3. I have a little bit of information here right now. Let's see. I need 40,000 pounds of fuel, so cutting her down quite a bit. Like I say, pretty short flight, and don't need a ton of fuel. And we're going to load cargo up today. I'm gonna go. I don't even know. I'm just gonna load it up. I wonder if SimBrief tells me how much cargo I should be carrying. No, it does not. How about we go? Let's go like 15,000 in each area here. I have no idea what a good cargo load. I mean, I could max it out, I guess, which is kind of what I do with passengers, but we'll go 15,000 for each, and we'll make a couple of notes here. So it looks like I have a gross weight of 238. Okay, so again, I'm just taking some notes here on the side, and then I have some just awesome documentation here from Aerosoft that gives me, you know, all these performance settings that I need, and so that's kind of what I'm going to be filling out right now. So bear with me here for just a couple of minutes while I type on the side. So also my CG is 31. That'll come in handy. So right now, as I'm looking at the temperature over here, it looks like we're 20, between 20 and 30, so about 25, 20, 26, somewhere in there. So, and we're at sea level, so 25. So it looks like my takeoff EPR is going to be 1. No, that's the cruise. Sorry, that's continuous climb. Sorry, 162 is continuous climb. Our takeoff EPR is going to be 187. Pretty common number, actually. And then where are we here? Okay, did I say 280? Yep, 240. Sorry, so 240. So my V1 is going to be 115. V rotate is 132. And V2 is 148. My zero flap speed is going to be, what's going to be, but 210. Get all those set here in just a second. And then a Mach decimal 78 cruise at 330 with gross weight of 240 is 162. Okay, so the continuous climb setting and the cruise setting is going to be the same, which is kind of handy. All right. Very good, very good. So let's see. Will I use the autopilot? Is it inflated yet? Yes, I will use the autopilot. I think Mustafa, if you ever watch his channel, I think he's actually, like, when he leaves and has to, do whatever, has to go off camera, he puts in his little window a picture of the inflatable co-pilot from Airplane. It's awesome. Oh, man. Okay, let's see. I do have an actual proper manual Black Fox, and I am attempting to use it. Yeah, with this plane, I can't wing it. No pun intended. I actually have to try to follow some kind of procedures. I know it's kind of a shocker. All right, let's see. We got to set all these little V speeds up though. So I said V1 was 115, so we'll grab that guy, spin it around to 115-ish. V rotates 132. It's going to be in that neighborhood. V2 is 148. And zero flap speed is 210. Those are kind of nice little references to have. I am going to attempt to climb today using the IAS mode. I've been practicing a little bit. I know that's kind of scary. Hopefully that will show up in today's flight. Our takeoff EPR 187. Spin that around, 187. All right. Boy, we're almost there. Look at that. We're down to the second to last little alignment test, and we'll be ready to fly. Very cool, very cool. What's next here? I need to arm the emergency lights. I don't need any anti-ice. That stuff is all kind of over in this area here. No smoking. Fasten seat belts, all coming on, as are the nav lights. And I always think this is a little early, but this is where it showed up in my research. So anti-collision lights are coming on right now. We need to make sure we're on radio, which we are. We need to make sure that we are entering in all of our proper frequencies, which we will here in just a second. Anti-skid is coming on. Parking brake is set. Man, we are there. We're close. How about eat baking? So the no smoking goes for cooking in the oven. We can't overcook anything. We don't want any kind of smoke filling the cabin. Only the smell of Blue Fox 403's delicious concoctions. Her beautiful creations. Parking brake, fuel is off. Flaps are zero. All of our takeoff data is entered. Our altitude. Okay, so as we climb out, we got just another minute. We might as well take a look at this together. I am going to use my Navigraph charts, and let's pull these up here. Whoops. Open charts list. We want the departures, and we want the Miami 6. So here we go. So we are going to be departing. Again, our first waypoint here is Virginia Keys. So we'll tune in Virginia Keys, and then we're 108 outbound to Skips, 49.2 miles there. All right. And let's see what else we have here. We may be using runway 12 here. Runway 12. Let's see. Oh, that's Miami Internet. Yeah, that's us. Standard minimum climb of 242 up to 1200. Is there a altitude restriction. I don't really see one here. We'll probably just clear ourselves all the way up to 330 then. All right, that will work, by the way. Here's where we are in the airport, North Cargo area, kind of right up here. So if we take runway 12, which 9,300 foot, it would be fine if we did that. It's either going to be 8 right or 12. We'll do one last check before we get ready to go here, and that will determine which direction we want to head. All right. Oh, there we go. Hey, our INS is completely aligned, so let's just pop that over to nav. Awesome. You don't want to move an inch while you're doing that, by the way. You want to get all that stuff lined up first. And make sure that you don't mess that up. I have done that in the past. It's not pretty. It basically renders the INS obsolete because it doesn't track anything with any kind of accuracy. All right, so like we said, Virginia Key is 17.1. That needs to be the first thing in the nav. And we will track direct Virginia Keys as soon as we exit. And then we are going to clear ourselves up to, like I say, up to 330. We'll go ahead and just do that. And one less thing for us to keep track of as we're getting ready to go here. Boy, I'm getting a little bit more efficient here. Now I've been going 27 minutes and I'm just about ready to push and start. That's pretty good for me. Used to take every bit of an hour for me to get just to engine start. But I actually think that's kind of where we're at here, folks. Altitude set, heading set, VOR frequency set. Yes, indeed. We're ready to fire this guy up. So let's head over here to the engineers. Let's make sure these are all on, yep, up on the top, and these are all off right now. On the overhead, I do need to arm the starter and then back real quickly over here, turn the galley power off. You'll have to wait for that second cup of coffee there, Black Fox. And okay, yeah, I think we're ready. So here we go. We start, sorry for the vertigo there. Number 3, main boost is on. We go to the overhead and we do the number 3 starter. We get a little blue light, hopefully. Yes, we do. We see the we see the RPMs for N2 coming up. We want to wait till it's over 17. There it is. Well, as soon as it's over 17, we introduce the fuel. And then this part of the Christmas tree comes alive, and good deal. Not only does the oil pressure light come off, but the hydraulic pressure light is off. And we'll just kind of let that guy stabilize. I'm not sure how much you can hear that in the background, but really, really great engine sounds. I love it. All right, engine 3 is started. Engine 4 is next. Boost pump on. Starter engaged. Watching this guy spin up N2 to 17% or higher. It's there. Introduce the fuel. Monitor pressures and temperatures. There we go. Oil pressure light is off. I think we have a good start for number 4. All right, now to number 2. Just repeating the process. Boost, ignition, Into RPMs. There's 17. Fuel. And we've got oil pressure light off. That's good. Everything is spooling up nicely for number 2. Very good. Whoops. Last one, number 1. Boost is on. Starter engaged. Watching the gauge over here. There's 17% fuel. Looking for this light. These gauges all to do their thing. That guy's off. We have good oil pressure, good hydraulic pressure. 2 through 4, nice and stable. And the beauty part of this is we get to turn off that doggone external air and power. Okay. Lot quieter. Whoops. A lot quieter when we can turn those guys off. No doubt about it. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Alright, to the overhead. Starter. Oh man, I lost my... Oh gosh. Yeah, sorry. I need to... turn the starter off. This is kind of out of order, honestly. Need to come back over here. We need to put the Gen parallel on. This needs to go to Gen 1. That's not good, guys. Have a generator 1 failure, maybe? Alright, battery power selected. Oh, there we go. Gen 1 really could be on any of these. I always go to Gen 1 just because that's what my checklist tells me to do. Alright, those are all parallel now. Galley power can come back on. And time to turn the pneumatics on. Time to turn the cabin compressors on. And time to turn on the Freon as well. Okay. I'm going to go to high here. And yeah, I don't know why I have these. Usually those lights don't come on for me. But I need to have the Freon on because if we need to have some AC, that needs to be taking place there. All right. Getting closer here. No enunciators here. Boy, we are ready, I think, for pushback. No taxi clearance. Let me just check real quick just to make sure there's nobody that came on the scope here that I'm not missing. Yep, unfortunately, no. We do have Jacksonville. Looks like there's pretty good stuff happening. Of course, tonight up in Cleveland is the big event. So we've got the Operation Deep Freeze or something like that. But we're going this way, and so it's just us, and that's okay. I don't mind. But I need to get on 2280. and announce my intentions here. And let's just make sure that let's make sure that's turned on here. Whoops. I do have a view. There we go. This needs to be on. Yep, I think we're transmitting. Okay, good deal, good deal. And I might as well turn the my TCAS on as well. Let's see, I need to turn my weather radar on at some point in time too, but I think I'll wait till I push back. Alright, will it push? No. Darn it. We'll just do the regular Shift P and push back a little ways here. What's my weather saying currently? 170. So at 13, I think we will take runway 12. It's almost, that's 9360. That should be plenty of length. Okay, we'll come out here a bit. Clear left, clear right. Push is complete. Set the brake. So we need to go down here to probably just take kilo, cross 8 left, 8 right, over to Quebec 1. Sounds like a plan. Stan? And Miami traffic, Big F 691. We're taxiing runway 12 via Kilo, Miami. Alright. Flaps are going to be set. We are planning a flaps 10 departure. That's the first notch. Let's check the controls. And they're free and correct here. We have our altitude heading already in there. Transponder is squawking Charlie. I can turn my weather radar on now. Which it's just, honestly, it's just a terrain radar, but still cool. Somebody's probably made a mod for it that would make it work with like somebody's, like the Milviz weather radar or something. But alright, we'll arm the starters. We're gonna put the taxi lights on, and yeah, we're ready. Let's head down Kilo and get things going. Alright, touch the toe brakes, release the parking brake. Give it a little bit of throttle. And I think we're about ready to go. There we go, we're moving. I need some more. Yep, this is the FedEx hub. I don't I think Fine Air operated from this side of Miami though, and it actually, I think they initially operated from the old Miami-Dade County airport. I don't know that they honestly had, I don't know if they had a specific spot. Maybe up on the, the northeast corner, possibly. Latin VFR. I think there's been an upgrade to this this airport since I have installed it, but that's really a beautiful airport. I hope they did something though to increase the performance. It's one of my choppier airports. Even now, with my new CPU. It's still on a bit on the choppy side, but I still enjoy it. I try to get down here as often as I can. That was 40 minutes, guys, from cold and dark to taxi. I'm getting a little bit better. We're gonna get up here to Kilo 1. Look at that windsock. And Miami traffic, Big F 691. We'll be crossing 8 left and 8 right on Kilo, heading to 1-2 Miami. At Kilo, I should have said at Kilo 1. Wowzers, that's something else. Okay. Not hearing anybody respond to me. We'll just sneak across. Nobody coming the wrong way, I don't believe. We did have a King Air leave right before we, kind of as we were starting up, or starting the stream. That was kind of cool. Okay, we come across here, and then essentially we are at Quebec 1, just like a little 45-degree angle there off our 1 o'clock right now. We'll hold short, we'll make our final prep, and we'll be ready to go. And my nose is going to keep itching, I guess. Junior First Officer was making sure, by the way, that I was covered tonight. So here's my co-pilot. Maybe that'll be the guy for autopilot. I need a picture of that guy somehow. Titanium Druid, hello. Welcome. Happy Saturday, my friend. Welcome to Guilty Pleasure Night. No, actually, welcome to the Fine Air Historic Route number 1. Miami to Providenciales and Grand Turk. Track says I'm all alone. How about that? All alone at Miami. I think most of the action is up Cleveland way tonight, so I don't, it's not totally surprising that we're by ourselves. And I don't mind that. Sometimes it's kind of nice to have a place to yourself. Okay. Here we come to our hold short-ish line. It's kind of tough to tell here. I think this... Yeah, I think I'm actually... Nope, here it comes. All right, here it comes. I see it. Yeah, I don't mind. I do like the ATC, though. There's no question about it. Alright, so we are short of 1-2. Let's see, before takeoff checklist, we need to make sure that the takeoff lights are on. So we go taxi to landing. We can go ahead. We can put the retracts on here. Let's just one last check of the altimeter. I'm seeing 2978 from Active Sky. That's what I'm seeing on my gauge. Do I have... I don't think this guy has a backup gauge, does it? Okay. We're going to be... So we're going to be flying... We'll go runway heading to start, and then we will tune in... we'll tune in the VOR and head direct to it as soon as we kind of get ourselves up and going here. We actually are kind of on an intercept course if we just head out basically runway heading. So this is Virginia Keys that we have programmed in. Then from Virginia Keys, we need to head out of there on a 108 course. So not too bad of corrections really for us to make. Should be doable. I will put the overlay up though just to be sure. All right. That's why I like North Canada. Yeah. Did you see Black Fox, Steve? No. Northwest Orient posted on my propeller heads that somebody has come out with a Western Canada ortho, and it has like 200 plus airports, and they're like the ones that aren't already rendered. They're like little bush strips and stuff. It looks fantastic. I just haven't had a chance to download it and set it up yet, but go check that out, man. It looks really cool. It's your neck of the woods. All right, Miami traffic, Big F 691. We're taking runway 12 departing to the southeast on the Miami 6. Miami. One last check. I don't see anybody coming in. Let's go get lined up and head on down to Providenciales. Even though this is a short flight and I don't have a lot of fuel, this plane right now feels plenty heavy. Feels like it's taking a lot of throttle to get it going here. Northwest Orient, hey, just talking about you, man. It's the less you know, the better, sir. I was just talking though about the link you shared in my Discord about the Western Canada ortho. It looks pretty phenomenal, actually. I'm always skeptical of those things, but this one looked really good. All right, take this guy a ways around here. Chop, 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 chop goes the frames. Yeah, still, I maybe turned things up a little more than I should have. There's only so much. I mean, a CPU upgrade only gets you so much, and then you kind of just need that graphics card to back it up. All right, let's make sure we're lined up here. I think we're pretty close. Again, takeoff EPR is marked. Lights are on, flaps are set, altimeter set. I think we're ready to go flying. Need 189. I also need to hold the center line. That would be good. There's our airspeed alive. There's V1. Rotation. Maybe. Boy, these frame rates make it a challenge. There's a positive rate of climb gear coming up. We are quickly approaching our 0 flap speed. Flaps coming up. And we're going to stay on that runway heading if I can. Boy, I'm really getting blown around here a little bit. All right, get the autopilot on here. Heading mode select, and we're going to attempt an IAS climb. I don't know how well it will work, but let's see what happens here. Should hold us right here at 240. Nope, it's not holding us at all. Darn it. Alright. We're going to overspeed if we're not careful. Yeah, it actually let our nose dip there. That's crazy. Here comes the overspeed. Yeah, well, man, I even have been practicing this, guys. That's the sad part. Upward we go. Try to get that speed to come down. Continuous climb thrust, by the way, is 162. There goes our Virginia Keys localizer, because we're going almost 400 knots. Alright, heading, we're going to go ahead and let's get going south a little bit here. See if we can grab that guy again. Alright, so what do I need to do here? Yeah. That's just not wanting to do it. Okay. Now the problem is, geez, now my vertical speed is stuck. It won't go anywhere. Alright. That just shows you how much power this plane has, man. It really likes to climb. I'm climbing at almost 5,000 feet per minute and making over 350 knots. That's just wild. Pull the power back a little bit more. Trying to turn. Not a very good departure here, to say the least. Making good time though. Alright, keep coming around. There's 9,000. Don't worry guys, we'll be on the moon before you know it. Alright, there's our heading. Alright, let's get leveled out. One thing at a time now. Redo our autopilot. Okay, heading select is set here. And I don't know why this thing is not responding at all here. That is really weird. Generally speaking, it spins up and down, but it is not right now. Alright, what's going on here, buddy? What's going on, Mr. Trim? I'd love to climb at 6,000 feet a minute the entire way, but that's just not possible. Okay, let's get leveled out. Let's see, let's troubleshoot here a little bit. That pitch wheel is key to success. There we go. Alright. Now we're responding. Okay, very good. Okay, so we can, again, we've got heading mode selected. Let's try to get, let's just try to get lined up on the outbound here. Are we even going to be able to? Maybe we're too far away. Maybe we're just too far away. Yeah, we should be, I think, right now on an outbound of 108. So we're way south. Holy cow, we're way south. Alright, so let's do this. Let's turn back. We're not gonna be able to get all the way back. Skips is 49 miles from Miami, and we're already 22 from where we're supposed to be. But let's do this. We'll head about, split the difference. If we're supposed to be 108, let's About 060. Let's see if we can get ourselves kind of back where we're supposed to be. That was interesting because that was because I departed. That the VOR needle was tracking opposite of where I actually was. That's that problem that sometimes you have when you're tracking VORs, and I didn't catch that time, so I actually turned away from where I was supposed to be going. Black Fox 403, you're leaving now? I almost wrecked on takeoff. You can't leave yet, man. Have a good night, buddy. And in the meantime, Downwind Sim right on time. Hey, did you hear your stick shaker shaking? So maybe I was doing 400 knots on departure at 5,000 feet. I mean, is that a crime? Is that against some law? One of your fancy laws, Downwind Sim? And Kenny Monster checking in. Good evening, one and all. Welcome. I am attempting to just attempting to leave. What the heck? I'm trying to get out of town here. I need to turn some more lights on here because I don't have. What else do I need? There's some reds I can turn on, I think. Give me a little bit of a pedestal lights. That's what I need. Yeah, I need a little bit of this down here lit up here as well. All right. Well, the good news is we're still not to our first waypoint in the INS, and bad news is we're still like over 300 knots. So you should be, if you were to do this correctly, you climb out at your takeoff power until 10,000 feet, then you level off, then you set your climb power, or your continuous climb power, which by the way, we're still way over. Our continuous climb power is 162. Well, maybe we're not way over. Pretty close to it, actually. But anyway, you level off at 10,000, you set this at 162, you let your speed get to 300, and then that's what you attempt to hold as you're flying, or as you're climbing up to cruise there. Hey, buddy. Junior First Officer making an appearance here. Running amok, as always. Oh, hey, my VOR is coming in. Sweet. Oh, God darn. What the heck? 108, 108, 108, 108, 108. Blew by it. 108. That's right about there. Just about to capture it. That's awesome. Okay, well, we can go over to nav lock. And we can catch the last, I mean, again, it's 49 miles from Miami to Skips. So we can at least catch like the last little bit here, which that'll be good. Well, that definitely was not my best departure from. Oh, now we're circling back. Oh boy. All right, back to heading mode we go. Can anyone see why? I have this backwards is why. All right. So I need to be, again, it's wait, yeah, 291 inbound, which equates to 108 outbound. All right, well, we missed it a little bit here, but we're not too far off. We just have to be stabilized by the time we get to Nassau. That's where the INS is mercifully going to take hold, and my completely ridiculous, horrible radio navigation skills can take a back seat. What's going on here? Let's see. Kenny Monster chase Black Fox 403. Yeah, that's not nice of you, Kenny. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be arriving 90 minutes early thanks to, well, and yeah, this is all cargo, man. This is all cargo, so they don't care if the packages get there a little bit early or a little bit late, right? So there for a while, I got to use, you know, a good line, which is we're totally lost, but we're making good time, essentially, because we were way off course, but we were doing 400 knots. All right, well, 48, 49, we are officially just to the left of Skips. And the nice thing about this, though, is that Skips, we depart, as soon as this flips over, we'll be on that 108 outbound. So we can still get on track here. And then the let's see, how far is it from Skips down to Ray J? Actually, it's Ray J. You can call me Ray, you can call me Jay. That might be, I better check here. Is Ray J our first? Nope. CQA, Nassau is our first. That's our first waypoint. Okay, well, we'll let this guy hopefully center up. I might just bump it over a little bit more here. Yeah, totally lost, but making good time. Couple of pounds of wings, ice cold beer. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Trax 360. Oh boy, so let's see. I haven't even had a chance to look at the climb checklist. Part of this is going to be turning the lights off. And we don't need the continuous starter ignition anymore. Everything else there I think looks good. It does look like our needle's slowly trying to center up again, despite all of our best intentions to screw things up. Yep, and so we'll be on the 108 outbound, which is what I thought we had set up. Actually, yeah, we have to stay on that. So we're still tracking clear back, clear track, still tracking Virginia Keys 117.1, which, so that's okay. We're still there. All right, let's see what happens when we engage the localizer mode. Yowza. That was pretty sketchy there, guys. That was, I should say, more than sketchy. If I was better at this, I would do kind of what Downwind or what Slant Alpha does. I don't think I can do it as good as he does. Plus, it's not really that newsworthy here, but here's us. Let's see. Red pin, I think that's what he picks, right? So we departed this way, and then my VOR needle was backwards, so I actually turned and corrected, started heading this way. Then I corrected back and shot through our outbound radial here. And now I finally corrected, and I think we are actually heading where we should be heading. But all this while we are tracking the Virginia Keys VR. I think he makes his pen like a little bit darker, doesn't he? Well, anyway, that's my one and only impersonation of Slant Alpha Adventures right there. I like when he does that. That's pretty cool, being able to teleprompt it. So Kenny Monster went 78 miles out of his way when he screwed up, then flew it back 156 miles of extra practice. Hey, there you go. There you go. It's time in the plane, man. It's all good. It's worth it. All right, so we didn't exactly hold our 300, but we're also up flight level 300, so it's a little bit tough for this plane to stay at 300, but we need to keep it, you know, 250 or more. So I have decreased the rate of climb to about, let's see, like 800 for these last 3,000 feet, and then we can do our we do our cruise checklist, and we're shooting for a 0.78 today because we have a fairly short flight. Nice weather though, other than it was a bit windy on takeoff. And let's see, just kind of looking ahead, I am going to be, when we get to Ray J, which is 110, so we're getting close there, we're 87. We do need to turn 120 and head to NASA. And NASA is 112.7. I don't have a standby frequency here. You just have to kind of, you have to jump back and forth. You have to put it in heading mode, and then put the new frequency in there, and then get it lined back up. But we're keeping our eyes peeled. 110 is where we need to be, and we're closing on 310, so 2,000 feet to go. Everything is looking pretty good. We can slip a little below 250 and be okay. You start getting down here around 0 flap speed. Again, with this plane, the nose starts to pitch up, and it's basically impossible to get your nose back down without actually just completely trimming down, losing altitude, gaining airspeed, and then you can kind of re-trim it out, and it'll fly nice and level. 109 miles from our first waypoint. That's NASA, so that's good. Nassau. How do you say that? Nassau? NASA? Do you say the owl at the end of it? All right, 108 heading. It's 32,000. Yeah, is that how you say that? Nassau or Nassau? Nassau. Okay, thank you. You know, if I ever go there, I want to know, like, I want to sound like I'm not a tourist. 1,000 to go. Nine miles to go. Have that already set at 120. Probably, since it's not a huge change, I mean, we were supposed to be doing 108, so it's not going to be a big course adjustment. I'll go ahead and let this guy get like about 109. Normally I'd like to give this thing about 8 miles to make any kind of a change, but since this is a pretty meager change, if we can go about right there, it's good. Okay, heading mode engaged. Now we'll tune in NASA 1270. And at the same time, we're going to catch 330. Click right there. All right, there's 1270. That'll come in, and again, our track, we want 120. So we're really on it. Pretty darn close anyway. Engage the localizer. And so now 42 miles until we get to NASA. And so here's what we can do now, guys. Since we're fairly stable and on track, we could flip over to our INS mode here, and let me do this before I do that. I'm pretty well on this guy right now. I'm just gonna go to heading select, just hold the heading Flip it to INS mode. Let's see. So we're a little off according to our INS. And so the INS is a little bit more accurate than the VOR navigation, so that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to track, just turn a little bit here like 130. Try to get this guy lined up so that we pass right over the top of the VOR. One thing that helps the SEVA is when you track right over the top of those VORs. If you don't, it's not uncommon for, yeah, see, I'm sliding way to the north here. What's our wind doing? Let's just take a look at that. Okay, so I need to go distance 31 miles. Wind is 260 at 51. Yeah, so we're getting pushed quite a bit here. That's kind of why we're sliding. But anyway, if you're a ways off of the VOR, it'll actually try to turn you around and fly over the VOR before it goes to the next one. So it's just kind of a little quirky deal there. All right, we're starting to intercept here. We will engage the SEVA, and hopefully that'll turn. Yep, turning back, getting online. We're tracking to the first waypoint in our SEVA, which is NASA. We have 25 miles to go, 3.2 minutes, and then with any luck, it'll make the turn. We need to be, let's see, what are we doing here? We're heading outbound on a, looks like about a 130, what is that heading? 131 heading. So we'll see. We will set the heading bug just to make sure, in case it for some reason doesn't work right. We can pop the heading mode, and we can fly this route completely using radio navigation if we should choose, but I do like to stay current with the SEVA, practice the INS. As long as we're in, might as well. We might have been able to make it to 390. That's what Simbrief suggested. And, you know, we're not even to NASA yet. We might have been able to make it up there. It's just the descent part that I mess up. The higher I get, the worse I am. Down into Provincialis. Once we get to Provincialis again, we will be doing a quick turnaround. We'll find the cargo area. We will turn off engine 1 and 2. We'll pretend that we're kind of like doing a passenger turnaround, even though it's cargo, and then we'll fly that last little, I think it's a 19-minute flight from Provincialis to Grand Turk. I have not been to Grand Turk. And we'll just fly that direct basically, and I don't even know, probably at about, I don't even know. How high do you get the DC-8 in 16 minutes or 19 minutes? Probably not very high. Let's see, as I'm looking at it, it's 66 miles. Yeah, I mean, is that what you do? Do you even use a high altitude airway? I mean, you're just going basically direct. And as I look at the low airways, there's no, I'm not seeing any, you know, sometimes those islands have little mountains and stuff you have to clear. South Siakos is the only thing in between Provincialis and Grand Turk. It really doesn't have an altitude warning, so I think we might be okay just to go direct at, like you say, about 5,000. Call it good. It was a different time, wasn't it? I mean, talk about a big jet. All right, we're making our turn. That's a good thing. Big old jet to go 66 miles, but I guess it was the most, you know, efficient way to get goods from point A to point B, I suppose. All right, so we right now, again, the heading bug is just set for us essentially, and the track is also. It doesn't have anything to do with anything at this point in time. We'll go ahead and tune in our VOR frequencies just so we have a DME that we can compare to our SIVA. So go to pilot now. You're changing your mind. You're telling me, yeah, maybe 10. Total time minus those. Yeah, tell me what's left for cruise. Yeah, we'll take a look at that when we get down there. What altitude do we need to be, you know, to shoot an ILS, and we'll just figure that out. But I'm not thinking it's going to be much more than about 13,000 or so. Yep, we've got time to climb, descend, and yeah, and you saw how it took me, it was every bit of 60 miles just for me to get kind of stabilized on this sucker. So holy cow, I don't know, I don't have a lot. I may be having to circle the field for a minute just to get my bearings under me. All right, we're going a little fast here. Mach about 0.79, not too bad, but I'm going to back off my power a little bit. There's my cruise EPR 162. Let's be efficient, right? Ooh, boy, it's dark. My guy has his light turned on. I don't have mine turned on. Well, it gives. I have my light. How do I turn my light on? I don't know. Oh, maybe he's picking up this light over here. That could be. Weird, wacky stuff. Okay, so let's see, 50 miles. Our next point is the Donez intersection. So here we go. We just turned from NASA. We're coming down here to Donez. Again, that was a pretty short leg, 78-mile leg. We essentially stay on. It's 135 instead of 131, so a little further south, but another 100. Let's see, a grand total of 138 down here to the next turn. I think that's St. Marias. What is it? That looks like it's an intersection there. Nope, that should be St. Marias. I'm not seeing the frequency there. That's weird. St. Marias or Stella Maris. And the reason why we don't have a frequency is that it's going to be using an ADF. Awesome, we can tune that in. 526. All right, very cool. Let's tune that in. Not very often we have a chance to use that bad boy. 526. Okay, so let's see if I remember how to use this sucker. That guy right there will be spinning around. Right now it's telling me. It's probably not picking it up, honestly. Sorry for the yawn. That guy will be telling us the direction that we're heading, and hopefully we will be, as we get a little bit closer to Stella Marias, we'll be able to pick that up. That'll be kind of cool to look. Yeah, I don't know what it's on right now. So it has two ADF modes, and when I click, it just kind of resets. One of them is I think there's two ADF. Yeah, there's two ADF frequencies. So one of them is ADF1 and one's ADF2. So we'll set them both. So yeah, right now it's not picking anything up. So you just reset it, and they'll come alive here in a little bit. Okay, 28 miles, and we do have Donez as our second waypoint, so that's good. That'll switch over and start tracking towards Stella Maris, probably. And at a certain point, we probably are going to lose our DME. Not sure how far from Nassau we're going to be able to get and still track, which is okay. Again, it's part of the benefit of you know, having the INS. 2.5 minutes. High quality H2O right there. We say, yeah, this first leg was 78, so that's 60, so we should have 18. Yep, those match up. That's always a good thing. All right, we better take a look, though. One thing we forgot to do here is do some fuel monitoring now that we're up at cruise. We don't need any ice protection. We do need to take a look. All right, my manifold pressure is actually getting maybe too high, I think is what it's telling me here. Oh, I know why. I made a boo-boo. I forgot to set my... Yeah, I forgot to set this guy. Holy cow. 330. Alright. Yeah, that was a bad mistake. That's the cabin pressure. Luckily, there's nothing back there but your Amazon orders. Or we might be in trouble. Oops. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was looking at fuel. So the idea here again is, all right, when the main tanks are below 5,000, which they are, we want to start to, all right, let's turn the boost off here. We'll try to drain from the outside in. So we're going to turn the outboard alternate pumps on. We're going to do the cross feed, and we're going to start using this fuel right now and leaving this alone. We want to drain these tanks first. Again, that's for wing structural integrity. We'll go back and check that here in a little bit. 3 miles to make our turn. This is Donez, and so this should go from 1 to 2. We should switch 2 to 3. Yep, there we go. On our way to Stella Maris. 69 more miles to go, I believe. A grand total of... This should count up, if we keep our ADF, this should count up to 138. Is that right? Nope, it's going to be a little more than that. We'll see how far that goes. After that, you know what we could probably do is this. I'm going to put Providenciales in nav 2. So that's 115.60. We need to start thinking a little bit about descent here. And we'll just kind of wait and see when that ADF, or sorry, when that DME comes active, then we'll know we're in range. Yeah. So apparently you can have that extra weight on those outboard auxiliary tanks are the farthest ones out to the end of the wing, and so you can have that when you're taking off because you have the gear out there to support it. But when you start to fly, then, you know, of course, all of your integrity there is the wing connected to the fuselage, so you want to make sure that you don't have a bunch of weight clear on the outside edge of your wing, or so the manual says, and it makes sense. I mean, I guess I'm not a structural engineer, I'm not an aeronautical engineer, but yeah, that does make sense. All right, let's do a check of the weather. We need Mike Bravo Papa Victor. Surface winds 120 at 8. Looks like we've got a good visibility, few clouds at 10,000, at 1,000, excuse me, at 1,000. So it'll be a good ILS approach kind of night. So at Providenciales, what do we have for runways? I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of them is runway 10. Yep, runway 10 and runway 28. So basically we get to come essentially straight in, which is nice. I have it. Oh, I'm going to have to, oh, wait a second. Yeah, I'm going to have to use my Navigraph. All right, Navigraph. Let's see what you say. There is no approach, so we just have to kind of calculate it based off of what we see here. So we have a couple of VOR, Zulu or Yankees into runway 10. What's this one look like? Now we're coming straight in, so this looks like our boy. We'll dial that in there. We need to be at 8 DME. We need to be 1,300 feet. Okay. This is a 10 DME arc. Oh, it's telling us we need to actually be, well, 1,300 at 8. That'll be our calculation. So to go from 330 to 1,300, let's do some math here, folks. Feel free to double check at home. You need to lose 31,700 feet. So if I take 317 and I divide by 3.5, that's about 90 miles from Providenciales. So 90 miles away is when I need to start heading down. All right, so let's just look here and see about where that would be. So the wreck intersection is 67 nautical miles. So I'm going to say approximately, oh, if we went halfway between Stella Maris and Wreck, I think we'd be okay. That leg from Stella down to Wreck is 144. So if we cut that in half, that's 70 and 60, that's too much. So about 30 miles from Wreck, I think that's what we'll call that. So Wreck is, by the way, just double checking, Wreck is our 4th waypoint. All right, so 30 miles away, that's when we'll start our descent. That should get us in the ballpark there. 1,300 by 8 DME. And how are we doing fuel wise? All right, good deal. Those are staying stable. Actually, those are filling up, aren't they? Yeah, that's being used and pumping in. Being used and pumping in. I could actually. That's okay. The idea here is when these are exhausted again, the main outboards will be the same as the main inboards, or pretty darn close. Keep it nice and balanced out. All right. I think we're doing okay now. After a shaky start anyway. So here's kind of a cool resource I found. Normally I use departedflights.com for all my historic route information, but I just got messing around with searching for fine air stuff. And this is pretty cool. Check this out, guys. This is the worldairroutes.com, and they have a little fine air section. And the folks at Just Planes, I don't know if you follow their YouTube channel, but they've got a really good YouTube channel. They're offering like a DVD that talks about fine air DC-8s, and talks about like kind of where we're flying, you know, the Grand Turks and Providenciales. And so I just decided that's where I would get this route. And actually the first couple of routes, and actually maybe more than that. What do we have planned here? Well, for sure, here's today's route. Okay, we're going to Providenciales, then we're going from Providenciales down to Grand Turk. So that's our fine air Big F 691. Again, 17 minutes. And then we're going to turn right back around, and our next historic route will fly back from Grand Turk to Miami. That'll be kind of fun. And then let's see, do I have, it seems like I'm going down to Ecuador. It seemed like at one point, yeah, I think this is, well, actually I don't know that that's where I'm going for sure, but I am going to try to go outside of the United States for essentially both trips, which is a down and back for fine air. One of them I know is down here, and then the other I think is, it may be Ecuador, maybe kind of in there. I'm not 100% sure yet. I've got a couple of ideas, but I really need to look at them a little bit more closely before I you know, put it in ink there and make it official. But yeah, it should be fun. We did, you know, in the first DC-8 historic route tour, we did everything up in Canada. So I thought, yeah, what the heck, let's keep the international theme going. You know, I'm not wanting to fly to Australia or anything like that, which I think this plane could do without a problem. But I am thinking a little bit about the across the pond with this baby. I think that might be kind of fun to try. I've never done a across the pond event. I've flown across the pond a few times, but I've never done an official event. So if I was going to do it, I would do it in this plane or the L1011. Downwind sim back scratcher again. Thank you, sir. Comes in handy. So those are future routes coming up. Now, Dakota Pilot did mention, I think it was Dakota Pilot, maybe it was Northwest Orient, that was talking a little bit about, you know, prop culture and all that good stuff. Why don't I fly the DC-3? Well, I do have some DC-3 routes as a part of this series as well. I do have some 737-200 routes that I want to do as well, and I also have some 727 routes. So there's still plenty of vintage routes to be had, and I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not trying to go around the world or anything like that, but it's to be able to fly a couple of legs with each company is kind of fun, I think. So there's of course all kinds of airline companies that use that DC-3, and so that's going to be that's probably going to be the funnest of all the historic routes, because not only are there lots of different options, but there's all kinds of these crazy short hop routes, you know, 60 miles, 90 miles, 100 miles, you know, where they're making like 5 stops in a day, and that'll be kind of fun to do as well. So, yep, gotta love the merch that you're cranking out in that old Downwind Sim sweatshop. Photoshop classes, yes indeed. Yes indeed. All right, well, here's our progress so far. And like I say, when we get here to within about 30 miles, this is the Rex intersection. Right here is our last turn. That's when we'll start our descent. So as you can see, we're getting pretty close. And then the next leg is right over. Where is it? I don't know. It's like right one of these two. It's 66 miles or something, like, I don't know. But well, it'll take us longer to flight plan than fly the route, actually. I see a sandbar. Oh man. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, my friend. There will be sandbars in our future. I may have to switch to Diet Dr. Pepper. I can't stop yawning. Appreciate that, Trax. Well, still tracking the DME. Do I have Providenciales yet? Nope, not yet. $15.60. Oh, I forgot to check on my ADF. Ah, man. Yep, it's telling us we went right by. It's right behind us, which is as it should be, as we are now, you know, 40 miles away or something like that. That's, I think, 100. No, I don't know what that is. We were at 100. Maybe I'm too far away now. Maybe I've lost it. But anyway, I don't know if you guys were paying attention to that, but that did come alive. That works perfectly. It's showing us like a good ADF should. Where do we need to go to head back toward that signal? It has nothing to do with the radials. It doesn't care about that business. It's a direct to type of deal. All right, closing in 91. Sorry, again, when we hit 30, we start down. We want 13. I'm gonna go ahead and set that. $1,300 is what we're shooting for. And we'll be heading that way here in about 5 minutes. Frank J. Fine, the founder of the Fine Air Cargo Company. Founded in 1976. And ceased operations 2002. Was bought out by Aero Air. Operated mainly DC-8s and L-1011s. Central South America and the Caribbean. Their hub was Miami. That was Miami International. I thought they said something about it being at Wilcox Field or Miami County. I'll have to take a look. I could also be thinking about a different one that I've flown a couple different historic routes to this point. Done, let's see, how many did we do? I think we did 6 or 8 flights in the L-1011. A couple different companies there. Agent Bravo 7, hello. Silver Age, yeah. It's an old plane for an old man, Diana. We're in the DC-8, trying to be as fuel efficient as I can be with these 4 engines. Wish I could show you a little bit more, but that's kind of what it is. Hauling some cargo from Miami down to Providenciales, and then we're going to make a short hop to Grand Turk. We're gonna do. They used to do this 66 nautical mile hop. Yep, DC-8. It's fun. It's yeah. Yep, it's full out. Yeah, the last time I flew down to Providenciales, actually, the guy behind me called it said he was following the Dinosaur 8. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like that. It's fitting. Yeah, you missed a really sketchy departure, but the nice thing is I have kind of a chance to redeem myself here with the short hop down to Grand Turk. No, the L-1011, yeah, I do like that doggone bird, but it's in the hangar right now. But here you go. This should look familiar to you. Yeah, congratulations, by the way, on making it all the way around the world, man. That is awesome. That's a way to that's an accomplishment in that 7.2. Trust me. I know. All right, let's get those turned on. No problem. It's we got her under control, I think. Although I did forget to set the pressurization until just a few minutes ago, but luckily we're just hauling cargo, so right now we're just trying to make sure that the fuel, we get these outboard auxiliary tanks drained, and they're just about there. We may have to take on, I wonder if we'll have to take on a little fuel to get into Grand Turk. I didn't really account for that. I do have some extra, ready to go just in case we would have to divert or something, but maybe I have enough I can just use what I have right now. Alright, still don't have the DME for Providenciales coming in just yet, which is kind of concerning. We're 44 nautical miles from the wreck intersection, which that name is also concerning. But we're gonna do the old reverse curse, reverse jinx. Yeah, the last leg too was like, it was almost, it was like barnstorming, man. She just pointed her nose in the direction she thought she needed to go, and found her way, even though there were really very little, there was very little instrumentation that was helping her out. It was pretty impressive, I'll be honest with you. That last leg itself I know once you got closer to Minneapolis, you were good to go, but for a while there, you were sort of in dead air. And I remember reading when I was learning how to do one of these planes, and it said something to the effect that don't panic if you get in between VORs or something. Just trust your plane and stay on heading, and eventually you'll pick up the next VOR. And that's kind of what you were doing. That was pretty awesome, though. All right, here comes 33. I'm going to do this. I'm going to power back a little bit. We obviously don't have any kind of VNAV, so I'm going to try to get the speed under control before we descend. And if I could get it down about 250, I think I would feel pretty good, and then we can start our descent here. There's 30. Speed's coming down a little bit here. I'm almost back to idle right now. See my power settings clear back. This thing loves to glide. It really is a nice stable aircraft as you know when you're on approach. It's a little bit of a kite though. It catches the wind. It's got a great big tail and big wide wings. So that is nice that it's so stable, but it also means that every little gust of wind, every little updraft and downdraft is bucking you a little bit. So but still makes it fun. All right, we're on our way down 22 miles from wreck. We're going to be making a turn. The last turn that we make here is toward Providenciales, and our goal, as you can see, is to be down 1,300 by the time we are 8th DME. We still don't have Providenciales. What is going on? 1560, yeah. Have it over here yet either. I don't know what's going on, my friends. Wait, there we go. I wonder why we don't have it over here. Must have. Oh, I don't have this turned on, duh. There we go. How about that? All right, so we're 81 miles away right now, and yeah, I was getting nervous at my math skills. It's been a long time since I've been in a math classroom. I went, instead of dividing by 3, I divided by 3.5, which hopefully will give me a little more wiggle room here as we make our way down. Yep, Dakota Pilot, she's got a good YouTube channel. She's I think archives everything from her Twitch streams over there. Fun to go back, and I kind of wrote my 727 startup. Well, really my whole checklist right now just came from watching her 727 streams. And then I cross-referenced it with the FlyJSim stuff. Now Dakota Pilot is working on X checklist, right? That's you? You're working on the X checklist for a 727? Yeah, that'll be cool. I can't wait to see that. I know Downwind Sim also has done quite a bit of work with those. I think in his Mad Dog. Excuse me, he's doing an X checklist. All right, down we go through 260, and one quick check here. We now have 29901 as our altimeter, so not much of an adjustment here, which is kind of nice. There's our left-hand turn as we head for home. Taking a look-see we decided VOR Zulu approach, I believe. Yes, we did. So we are going to need, I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Since we now are tracking our distance to Providenciales, the VOR we need is 15. No, that's the same. Never mind. 15.6 takes us all the way into the runway. That's cool. The 105 is that's the approach course that we need. So I can set that. And that's, so we're essentially, this Rex intersection has basically put us right on the inbound, so straight in, which is really nice. $60 miles to go, flight level 230. And I better check on my fuel situation. Doesn't look like we're quite going to have all of this fuel offloaded, which is that's kind of a bad mistake on my part, honestly. So landing with this extra weight in the ends of the wings puts a lot of stress on the wings. Really should have had that taken care of beforehand. And we're going to have to stop the crossfeed here in just a little bit. Fuel dump time. Well, I may need that fuel to make it over to Grand Turk, so I'm not going to totally get rid of it, but definitely didn't manage that fuel very well. All right, let's see. Descent checklist. So we do have our descent plan. All that's there. Ice protection not needed. When we get to 10,000, yeah, right. Watch for the schools. That was awful. What that guy was doing. He must have thought he had a worse emergency than he actually did. What's the... Oh, Agent Bravo 7 has a Ryan GIF. Nice. That's awesome. That's become the stuff of legend. I think the first time I ever watched Agent Bravo 7 streaming live. All right, here comes 180. We do have the altimeter updated. Looks like I have a hint of an island out here, but no lights just yet. We are 47 and 47 and 45 according to the INS, so that's good. She is. She's the muscle. All right. I've got to do something about my speed here, guys. I'm up a little quick here, and I'm closing in on 16,000. So I think I may have to, as much as I hate to do it, I may have to pull back the descent a little bit here. Try to get things settled down. I have a terrible feeling that I'm not going to make my 1,300 feet. Where, oh where did my math go wrong? I think this is our island. I'm only 40 miles out. I'm still at 15,000. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to level out. I'm going to get down to where I can get a notch of flaps in there. Yep, it's a beautiful bird. I love this plane. I do. She gets a little bit cranky. Does not like to descend. Also, when you let her pitch up, she doesn't like to pick up airspeed. You know, so just kind of has her quirks. But if I throw some of those big old flaps out, we've got a half a chance here. You know what else I need to do? I need to figure out what my ref speed is while we're getting slowed down here. Mach cruise, Mach cruise, Mach cruise, landing speed. Okay, there goes a notch of flaps. And gear horn, oh, that's because that's because I'm basically at idle power. All right, back down we go. And I don't remember where that horn cutout is. All right, we'll have to live with it here for just a minute. I got to find the flap speed, the zero flap speed. We're 238, so I think we're going to be probably about 210. 138 is what I'm going to set. All right, so 138, you're going to go away, you're going to go away, you're going to go away. 138, right there-ish. Flaps are in. I'm descending. I'm 29 miles. Still straight in though, that's good. Alright, where's the gear horn? Cut off, there we go. There we go, I knew it was there somewhere. Yeah, we may need to do a bit of vectoring. One good old 360, because I don't think we're going to make it. We've got 20 miles to lose 11,000 feet. I don't think that looks mathematically doable here. Yep, it's a good autopilot. I mean, it does everything that you need it to do. The only thing I'm a little disappointed, this is kind of where the departure went crazy, is I had been practicing using the IAS and the Mach hold, and for some reason it didn't engage this time. And I don't know if I had something set funky, but then it didn't let me adjust the vertical speed wheel, and so I had to completely turn off the autopilot, get it all retrimmed out. It was pretty ugly, to be honest. I was climbing at 6,000 feet a minute at one point. I was going almost 400 knots. It was really something. Let's nudge her forward here a little bit more. It was, yeah, it was a test of airworthiness. I was ready for things to start falling off. All right, we're heading through 10,000, so we're gonna do this. Oh, we're pretty close. All right, we're gonna turn these boosts off, and cross feed valves are coming off. We're in good shape there. We did a pretty good job of getting those drained. That's good. The landing and retracts will come on. Find the click spot here. So dang dark. All right, landing lights. Yep, retract. I don't need the wing floods on, and I need to make sure that the starter ignition is armed. Down we go. Down we go. Down we go. Oh, I'm creeping back up too fast. Darn it. I should have put. Let's go another notch of flaps here. Mellow out the descent just a bit. Got an outside chance. 17 miles. We're down through 8,000 feet. We do have clouds at 1,000. It said a few clouds. Yep, so there may be something that's kind of getting in the way of us in the airfield lights at this point in time. I almost feel like I need to go back over to, here's what I'm going to do. Heading select, let's pop back over to BOR mode. And let's see what we're doing. Oh, yeah, we're just a little bit off. There we go, there's some runway lights blinking in on us there. That's good to see. Let's come around here. Down through 6,000. We're getting close. 13 miles. I need to be 130 in 5. You lose 5,000 feet in 5 miles. That's not quite going to happen. But thanks for the host, Agent Bravo 7. Appreciate that. We do have another leg to fly after this one. By the way, we're going to go Providenciales over to Grand Turk. I don't even know if I'm going to turn off the engine here. I think we'll taxi in and simulate a stop at the cargo area and then call it good. I'm way off here. We'll just head back out and depart. Kind of feel like maybe I need to just hand fly this. Yep, still high. Just right at the edge of... Alright, you know what? We're going to do this. Autopilot's off. My aircraft. Flaps 35. Gear coming down. We are a bit high, but I think we can still get there. There's 3,000. Yep, we're about 1,700 feet too high. And no, this is not a bush plane, but I'm kind of flying it a little bit like a bush plane. 1,000 to go. Ref speed right there at 138. We're way fast, but we're just trying to get ourselves down here a little bit at a time. Ooh, I think I see a red pop. There's 2 reds, 2 whites. All right, let's arrest our descent a little bit here, and let's see what we need to have for power setting. That wasn't as bad as I thought, actually. Still a little bit left of center. Okay, let's see how we do here, ladies and gentlemen. Now I've gotten myself a little too low, as I tend to do, overcorrect. But my speed is still good, so I'm okay with that. I am pitching up now like a big dog, but I'm not that far below the glide. There it comes. I'll be too high before it's all said and done. Sorry guys, I don't have any kind of landing rate prediction for P3D. I'm still working to get that set up, so you're just going to have to guess yes or no or number of bounces right now. Maybe I should add high or low or glide or drift or something like that. Oh, we're down. Ah. Now we made the touchdown zone. We drifted to the right. As I learned last night on my friend Jet Pilot Cinnamon's stream, actually the two most important things when landing a jet in the real world is putting it down in the touchdown zone and keeping it on the center line. So I did one of those two things okay. Alright, there we go. We're here. Ouch my back. Yeah, that was definitely an ouch my back. That was a firm landing, to be sure. Okay. We're down, though. Welcome to Providenciales, everybody. We probably will have to go back and check the cargo, just to make sure that nothing's broken back there. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the end of the runway where there are, this is the cargo area, but I'm a complete and total default guy tonight, so I don't have anything really to show you that's of any merit. So let me stop here and I'm not going to go there, Kenny. Not going to go there. 292 I think is probably about right. Maybe 392. Okay, let me see where we're at. We're just going to do a quick turnaround. We're going to pretend the guys, the ramp workers are out. Oh, I didn't quite. Yeah, dang it. I needed to go a little bit further. The cargo apron is a little bit further down. So we're just going to flip it around. I have no way to taxi back up here. It's a total back taxi situation. Let's flip it back around and we'll take off there. But before we do, we have got to I actually need to just do a quick, we need to do a new flight, don't we, here? So Providenciales MBPV to MB, I think it's TK. Nope. What is Grand Turk? I'm going to have to look at my notes here. MBGT, Grand Turk. MBGT. Yep, Grand Turk. We're not going to worry about an alternate. We'll just come back to Providenciales if we have to. And there you go. It's direct OLA. As direct as direct can get. So we are going to be shooting here. This says is this 116? Is that what that says? I think it is. I'm going to put it in Sky Vector also, just because sometimes it's easier to read some of this stuff with Sky Vector. MBPV, MBGT. Let's get rid of all this in the middle stuff. Yeah, 118 is my direct route here. It says maybe 117 there. And like Dakota Pilot was saying, really all we need to do is just figure out, as we head into Grand Turk, looks like we have, oh boy, we have an RNP, runway 12. That's an I'm going to have to just fly visually into runway 12. Both of these are RNAV approaches. Well, I think that's going to still be the best way to go, because I'm guessing here that it's going to be similar in terms of the wind. Yeah, 100. Oh, at 20. Runway 12 it is, my friends. Same deal. Few at 1,000 and altimeter 294. Okay. All right. That I think we can do. All right, what's going on in the chat? Let me get, hold on. Let me get all this stuff out of here first. Let's see what's going on here. Definite maybe from Agent Bravo 7. Kenny overshot. Drove through the building. That's my kind of landing right there. That's what needs to be streamed. It's that kind of stuff. I could say I was simulating. Oh, you could say you were simulating a real aircraft. Yeah, Dakota Pilot trying to make Kenny feel a little bit better. There you go. And all right, Agent Bravo 7. Take care, young lady. We'll see you next time. Thanks for popping in, by the way. Thanks for the host also. Okay, we're still on Unicom. Yes, we are. So we're going to just back taxi here and we're gonna get ready to go. I'll set my flaps to flaps 10, and we'll just turn this thing around. Providenciales traffic, Fine Air 691, back taxi runway 10, Providenciales. Can't imagine there'll be too many other aircraft in the vicinity, but just in case, we'll get that call. Yep, down there is the cargo area. He's just turn around. Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind. I like this thing because it's that old school, like it turns zero turn radius deal. Because these planes, of course, used to come right up before jetways and all that good stuff. So they tried to get you right up to the building, and then they had to swing it around. You had as much room as the wingtips allowed you, but. All right, back we go. BRB, Dakota Pilot. Sounds good. Don't make it a quick one. This is an 18-minute leg, my friend. I'm just going to leave the landing lights on. What the heck? I haven't even checked that tastic. One departure, one arrival. I do see an aircraft coming in towards Providenciales. Hopefully he's not on final or something like that. Well, I forgot to make my call when I was coming in on final. That's not a very good job on my part. And so now you start to do the old, is that a star or are those landing lights? And Providenciales traffic, Fine Air 619. We're on the back taxi, runway 10, Providenciales. I guess I could, if I had to, I could duck out here at the, looks like this is maybe the terminal area, if that indeed was a plane on final. I haven't heard anybody make any kind of a check or anything like that. So we're just going to kind of roll with it here. 118. By the way, is I think pretty close to what I had. Nope, it's not. 118. 120, 19, 18 be right about there. And 1420. I'm just going to tune that guy in right now. 14.2. That's Grand Turk. Hopefully that'll come in. Not yet. We'll see what happens when we get airborne, though. I haven't seen that star move very much, so if it is somebody coming in to land, they're a long way out. So I don't feel so bad. Fuel-wise, we'll check when we get turned around, but actually there's not much we can do about it right now. We got 5,300 in each tank, man. We're good. I overestimated a little bit there. Oh, well, we never did figure out. Geez Louise. One thing I do need to check though is the altitude for the initial approach fix. And then we'll do some math there as far as what we want to do in terms of our altitude. All right, there is a little bit of a turnaround area here. Let's use it. Man, even this scenery is a little choppy. What gives? This is as default gets. I must have something turned up that I don't realize. Alright, there we go. 29904. We'll set that. That's Grand Turk. And just looking again one last time. If I were to shoot one of the RNAVs in to Grand Turk, let's see, what would my approach altitude need to be? 2, looks like 2,000 feet there at Karen, which is 6, so like 11, yeah, 11 miles. That I'd need to be at 2,000. So I think what we'll do is this. I think we're going to go up to, man, let's dial 13 in there. Let's just see. Don't know that we'll get there or not, but let's just kind of see what happens. And I think I'm just going to hand fly it the whole way here. We'll just try to manage the speed and everything else. Again, our takeoff EPR, by the way, last time was 189. So I think we're going to stick with that. I know we're a little bit lighter, so we may gain speed a little quicker. And our V speeds, put those back in. V1 was 115. And rotation speed was 132. It's pretty close to what that is. And then remember our ref speed was 138. So instead of V2, I'm going to set our ref speed at 138. Pretty close to the rotation speed, which is typical. All right. Providenciales, fine air 691, departing 10, direct Grand Turk, Providenciales. Okay, here we go. I think we're set. Power coming up. Stabilized. Fans are spinning. Takeoff power is set. Airspeed's alive. B1. Rotates. Positive rate. Gear up. Zero flap speed. Flaps up. Making our turn. See how we do this time. Again, we want to climb at our takeoff rate and try to keep the speed managed here. As you can see, we're close to 250 already. We're climbing at 6,000 feet. Holy cow. 6 per minute. That's crazy. We get to 10,000 is when we level it out. And we back off to 162. There we go. Speed's under control now a little bit better. Can let the nose come down some. Probably need 4,000 though to keep it under control. We really don't need 300. I mean, we're not going anywhere that fast, so I actually think what we'll do is this. I'm gonna back it off to 162 right now, and I'm just gonna try to keep it at 250. There comes our localizer. do need to change this track. Let's see how close we are. Yeah, we're not bad. What did we say we needed to be? I think 118 heading out, so let's, there's 118. So yeah, we're a little bit right, of course. There comes our speed, because I let the nose come down too much. So we're a little quick. Darn it. One little peak away from the gauges, man, and it's, then you're rolling. Alright, just flying the VOR needle right now. We're just watching things tick down there. We're already less than 60 miles away. Here comes 10,000 feet. Pulled the rate of climb back to like 5,000 feet a minute again so I can get my speed back down. Although now I'm over 10,000 feet, so I think I'll be all right. I'm just going to leave the lights on. What the heck. There's 1,000 to go. Pull the speed back a little bit more even. Let the nose start to come back down. I'm just going to try to, like I say, just try to hand fly it. See how close we get. Alright, we're getting closer to being on our outbound radial here. Ah, my head itches tonight. And we're pretty close to 13,000. Again, we're pretty much straight in, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it's runway 12, and that approach course is 116 basically. So, you know, I mean, we're pretty much coming right at it. And we are just going to be visual today. There's no VOR, ILS type of approach available. Oops, and we are climbing. That's 14,000 we're going through right there, boys and girls. How about we give some of that altitude up? What do you say? Yeah, that's all I see too. I'm totally looking at the instruments right now, just flying based on the six-pack. Really good to practice that for me, because I am not good at all. So just pretend you're in a cloud bank or something right now, snowstorm, and you can't see diddly squat. All you can do is just look at your six-pack. Alright, there's somebody beeping out there. Maybe another aircraft. There's 13,000 going the other way. I'm having trouble holding the level right now. Are we racing somebody? I can look at that Tastic maybe here and see. Well, there's somebody coming next to me here, but they're heading down. I don't know where they're going. He's going to cut in front of me, it looks like. And he's below. He must be on approach somewhere. Let's not give away altitude. Let's not make this worse than it needs to be. Look at that speed already up to 320 or something. That's just crazy. It just, this plane just goes. All right, trim it out. Boy, it does not trim out very easily. "30 miles out, I'm going to start my descent, actually. Let's pull power back. I may be waiting too long. 2,000 is what I need to end up at. Set that. Not going to mean a whole lot, but I'll set it. Nose is coming down, but my speed's not, so I need to try to hold it level. Get down to flap speed here first, like I did last time. That really did help. I don't need to pitch up. Well, this thing, there is a reason I use autopilot. Holy cow! All right, nose back down, level out. And Grand Turk, fine air, 691, 30 miles to the west of the airfield, straight in runway 12, Grand Turk. I know I'm too far away for those guys to hear me at Grand Turk, but I'm hoping that that aircraft next to me maybe can hear in case he's going in the same direction. Okay, there's I'm gonna go flaps 15. Silence the horn. Okay, down we go. 2,000 feet a minute should be pretty close. Drifted a little bit here to the left. Totally eyeballing this top of descent, by the way, so almost guaranteed to be not close. Which doesn't matter because I'm not able to hold a steady rate of descent anyway. I'm anywhere between 1,000 feet per minute and 4,000 feet per minute. So just like by the book, right? Holy cow! All right. And again, I think we said, just looking here, 116 is the approach course. So let's just buzz that over there, 116. Yep, I'm definitely to the left of it. No, it shouldn't be that bad. I mean, come on. Can't be much worse than last time. Okay, we're 20 miles out. Let's put another notch of flaps in. Through 10,000. Still coming a little bit to the south just to try to get back on our localizer. Well, it's not the localizer. Trying to get back on our line here a little bit better. There we go. That should help. Ref speed 138. All right, we're coming down. We'll chase her down a ways here. I mean, we're 9,000. Come back around, get it lined up. I think we're going to be in the neighborhood anyway. Might have to make some fine-tuning adjustments once we get there. But much more on track right now anyway. Speed's a little high yet. We'll get down to about 10 miles to go and we'll throw flaps 35 in there and we'll get the gear down and then we'll really slow down. I don't even see stars now, Kenny. It's just a big old black nothing. This will be a trust of instruments. Oh man, wait a second. I'm descending at like 6,000 feet a minute. Don't do that. Don't do that. Good thing it's just cargo. You can see though how this is good practice for me. This is really good practice for me because I'm not good at this. I need to do this more. All right. Back to 2,000 feet a minute. Okay, there we go. Now we're cooking with butter. Well, no, we're not. Now the nose is coming up. Not the easiest plane to trim out. No question about it. But we're 3,000. We want to be 2,000 at 11, so we're actually only about 1,000 high this time. There's my airport, I see. Whoa, boy, my nose. Yowza. Alright. I got airport lights in sight. I am below the glide slope, so let's do this. Let's level out until we intercept the glide. And that'll bring our airspeed down, which will be a good thing. And then we can also get our final notch of flaps in there and get fully configured. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. So we're sitting here at about 2,500 right now. There we go. All right, final notch of flaps coming in. Gear is coming down. Let's let the airplane start to descend again, but 1,000 feet per minute would be just right. Gear's trying to pull us down a little bit here, understandably. See if we can keep from getting too low too quick here on this one. All right, there's our ref speed. Yeah, we're getting a little slow now. I can see that we're not aligned with the runway, so I'm going to have to come to the right just a bit. There comes our speed. Looks like 3 red and 1 white, so we are just a tiny bit low. If we can hold this, though, we'll be all right. There's the nose pitching up, and it makes it really hard to get airspeed. There we go. That's better. That's better. The faster we go, the more the nose kind of lays over and you fly level. Okay, yeah, we're actually gaining a little bit of altitude. We don't want to do that. Okay, let's nose over again. See if we can get back on that glide. I don't have any idea how long this runway is even. I think it's the same, about 9,000 feet as Providenciales, but I should have checked that one last time. It's in my flight planning notes, but I'm not going to look right this second. Ooh, there's a gust of wind. Winds are 20 here, and it's not quite right down the runway. It's 100 at 20, so it's going to be pushing us from that left-hand side just a little bit. I can feel that crab right now as we're nosing left just a bit. Boy, really getting shoved over. Come on, get aligned. A little bit high, a little bit fast. There we go. And Grand Turk, Fine Air 691 short final, runway 12, Grand Turk. Just in case anyone's on the ground there and wants to know, we got low again, darn it. Just struggled holding the glide slope tonight, guys. Both airports, same thing. A little too high, then I went right through it. Just didn't hold it like I needed to. Now I'm a little slow. Expect another firm one, ladies and gentlemen. Nose is up. See if we can hold the center line a little better though this time. Nope. Sliding. Sliding left. There we go. Get it back. No. Not wanting to let me go back. Stall. That's true bush flying right there. The stall warning going off at touchdown. Reverser's full. Oh boy. Yeah, just when you think you've seen it all. Alright, there's 60 knots. pretty well stopped. Looks like this might be another back taxi situation. Let's pull up the taxi chart here real quick and just make sure. What do we have? Yes, indeed. Oh, geez, Louise. And Grand Turk, Big F 691 will back taxi 12 Grand Turk. So we got to turn it around. Let's see if we can get over here and do this correctly. So this runway, by the way, okay, I don't feel so bad. This runway 6,300 feet. So like 3,000 foot shorter. So that's not too bad. I mean, I got a little bit low, I got a little slow. The nose popped up on me, and that's not good. And I'm gonna probably taxi onto the grass here a little bit. Nope, I kept the wheel on. The nose went over the grass, but the wheel stayed on. So both approaches, though, the same issue, and that is just not holding the glide slope very well at all. And so something to practice, but for me to fly this plane 66 miles in basically pitch black, just using the instruments, I honestly I'm not unhappy with that. I mean, I know that the landing needed to be better, the approach in general needed to be better, but to just get from point A to point B using just the VOR and keeping roughly an altitude what I was supposed to be, I will take that. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I appreciate you coming along, by the way, and hanging out with me, keeping me company here. It's been another fun night, and do I have a taxiway here anywhere, guys? Oh, here we go. I do enjoy these historic routes. I do enjoy getting in the vintage jets and tootling around a little bit and practicing all that old school navigation, and just regaining an appreciation every time I fly one of these planes for just aviation itself. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that as well. And if you're in the market for a DC-8, I'm still not sponsored by Aerosoft, but I do think this is a really nice plane. I wish they had something that was equivalent to it in X-plane. I would buy it in a heartbeat, but this for sure has been very well worth the dollars I spent. I don't even remember what it was, but it was not PMD, range. It was not bad. So anyway, I would recommend it. I think it's a great plane, and I've sure had a lot of fun. But let me get this thing kind of in a shutdown state, and then we'll talk just a little bit about what's coming up here in the near future. All right, fuel's coming off. All right, where is my shutdown? Park and brake set, fuel. Okay, transponder needs to also be turned off. This should have been 2200, not 2000. Okay, that was not smart. Weather radar can be turned off. Where are you, weather radar? View? Right down here, right? No. Oh, it already turned off for me, I guess, with my electrics. My electrical. Okay, anti-ice, all that good stuff. I never did turn that on, but I can turn the heaters off. I can turn the emergency light back to disarm. I can do the windshield heat can be turned off. I can come over here, and the galley power needs to come off. The volt selector needs to come all the way around to off. It is off. Let's see, I don't have anything. I'm going to turn the battery off. That's kind of my last step here. Whew, talk about cold and dark. There we are. All right, well, I don't even have a good like a ending shot, an outro shot for you here, because I have default scenery, but that's okay. Appreciate you guys, like I say, hanging out with me, and it was an awful lot of fun. Here's what's coming up, by the way, on the stream. I was happy to be able to do this because this was a little bit of an iffy kind of touch and go deal. So it's fun to be able to do this, and looking forward to kind of getting back into my normal Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday routine. So let's see. Let me find what I've got here. The coming up on Tuesday, by the way, yeah, the 25th here. It's the BVA ski trip. It's the Boston Virtual folks are hosting a little fly-in up there, a little GA fly-in. That's Burlington and Lebanon, and I'm going to be in the Thoranda Kodiak messing around up there. On Thursday, we've got the OKE City After Dark. It's a combination of Oklahoma City and someplace in Texas. I forgot, but it'll be a good opportunity for me to hop in the FlyJ Sim 727. And then coming up next Saturday, we have the Leap to Orlando, and that's when I'm going to be back in the L1011. So 2 of my next 3 flights are actually not propeller driven, but they'll be those vintage birds. And you'll have a chance, by the way, in both Tuesday and Thursday's flight to guess the landing rate and become the new landing rate champ and see if you can knock off Bill, the drug dealer 1, who has had a stranglehold on the landing rate competition for most of the week. So anyway, that should be a lot of fun, guys. So again, thanks for coming in, everybody that came in. Thanks for the host agent Bravo 7 and everybody else. Again, I'm afraid to look back here and look and see what Kenny, yep, nothing, 237. You probably were right on the money there. That's the time to stall if you're going to do it. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, I don't think these planes are quite built for the stall warning horn to come off. But if it's going to happen, I'm going to put an angle of attack meter in this bad boy and some bush tires on it. We'll fly this thing properly down there at stall speed. So Titanium Druid, Kenny, take care. Dakota Pilot, Agent Bravo 7. As always, thanks for stopping by. Downwind Sim, Titanium Druid. Good to see you guys as well. Probably missing somebody. Trax 360. Hey, I hope you enjoyed your evening, man. I hope you're able to have a couple of cold ones and relax. Have one more for me, if you don't mind. Black 43, he headed out a while ago. Northwest Orient, checked in early on. But anybody else, if I missed you, have a happy Saturday. I'll be looking for you guys on the TCast. And until next time, take care. God bless.